Prague is romantic, but it's even more romantic than you think. Hi, my name is Valerie and I'm a licensed guide. Today I will show you Prague like you've never seen it before. All these cozy nooks, hidden passages and narrow lanes is what people imagine when they see Prague on the best romantic destinations in Europe lists, together with Paris, Venice, Bruges and other poor cities that attract couples with joint Instagram accounts. Yes, streets of Prague are perfect for your love story photo shoot, but yours isn't the only love story that these streets saw. Prague, same as many other European cities, was the center of sex-selling business where dozens of brothels were located. The oldest profession known to humankind has been exercised in Prague since Middle Ages in the area called Prague Venice, later demolished and transformed into the monastery and the chapel. Or here in Ungeld. Ungeld comes from the word tariff. This courtyard used to be the place where medieval merchants would come to weigh and tax all of their goods. So it was kind of like our version of medieval Wall Street. And if you've seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, you can imagine what kind of fun people were up to here. So there were a couple of brothels, notably this one, called Tunnel. Not that kind of tunnel. It actually had the escape passage, so ladies of the night could run away from police. I mean, very convenient. Going to brothels was a common practice for all tiers of society, and eventually prostitution had to be regulated. Starting from the end of 19th century, prostitutes had to go through regular medical checkups to obtain their health records. That's right, not only that, they also had to go to the police to register there. Apparently, being a prostitute meant a lot of paperwork. No wonder, Czech bureaucracy always wanted to fuck. We wouldn't be able to show you all the places where brothels used to be located. There were dozens of them all around the city, but at least let's take a look at some of the places that you might pass by during your Prague visit. Like this one, a famous club called Chapeau Rouge, actually named after the brothel that used to be located in the same building. And even though this house looks quite modern, it's fooling you. The history of it is going much deeper, down to its Romanesque basements. Some Czech historians say that our most famous king, Charles IV, you know, the one that you know from Charles Bridge or Charles University, might have been born in the house that stood here instead of this one in 14th century. And even though Charles IV was a cool guy, I don't think he would appreciate what have become of this place. I mean, techno music? Seriously? Another famous brothel was located here, on a hidden Kamzíkova street. It was called U Červeného Pava, or Gogo. It was one of the most luxurious brothels in Europe at that time. And they had rooms adorned with Turkish, Japanese and Persian styles. One even resembled King's Chamber. And the guest list was also astonishing. Among the most famous names were Franz Ferdinand d'Este, whose assassination started the First World War, and the renowned German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, whose work encouraged the unification of Germany. Rumor has it that Bismarck was staying here after his victory in the battle in 1866, and he visited Gogo and even engraved the name of his most favorite prostitute, Milada, somewhere in the room that they were staying with his diamond ring. I hope he wasn't scratching the name of hers on the window, otherwise the sound must have been a torture, but maybe he was kinky and into that kind of stuff. He was German after all. If you didn't have a bling on your finger, you couldn't afford it here in Gogo, so you had to go somewhere else, just around the corner. We are now in a street called Kozna to take a look at another famous brothel called U Špirku, now a restaurant. U Špirku was the place where the most famous Prague prostitute worked. Her name was Tonka Šibenice, and her story inspired literary works, movies and even theater play. Tonka started her career as a high-class courtesan, but her fall was very sudden when one night a policeman came to the brothel where she worked with a special request. He just caught a serial killer, Ferdinand Prokupek, whose last wish was to lay with a woman. All ladies refused to give themselves to a man who was murdering young girls, and Tonka had to go. Her reputation was ruined after that, and she was kicked out of this brothel, had to go and find somewhere cheaper where to live. Maybe some of you guys already noticed a lot of doors on this street. These kind of like exhibition stalls or display windows were also used by prostitutes who were presenting themselves for the clients who were passing by. So that was a cheaper option for Tonka. After that, she had to go on the street. She was immortalized by the writer Egon Erwin Kisch, who ironically lived on the same street just around the corner. At that time, there were around 2,000 registered prostitutes, and who knows how many that worked illegally. Most of them came from the countryside, where there was a severe lack of job opportunities for women. Working in the city provided anonymity, and women felt safe not being judged. But it's now 2020 and everything is sort of going backwards. People are not traveling to work in a city anymore. They would rather stay and work from home, except us, of course, guides. So if you want to support us and make sure that we survive, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. We will appreciate it a lot. But let's go back to our topic. So an average salary of a prostitute was from 15 to 30 crowns per night, which was an hourly salary of a university professor. So they actually could earn a lot. And when we know that there is an offer, there is always a demand. So why so many men actually wanted to use the services, besides the obvious reasons? We could boil it down to Madonna whore complex. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. I will not drag you into psychoanalysis because Sigmund Freud did it much better.
What's up, baby?
Times were changing, and in 1922, the first ever Czechoslovakian president, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, and his wife Charlotte, passed a law against prostitution, and all sex-selling businesses went underground, where they pretty much stayed till nowadays. During the communist times, working as a prostitute wasn't considered to be a legal profession, so they were all technically unemployed, which was the worst kind for the socialist society, because labor is apparently the only thing that makes you human. Anyway, we're now on a very famous location next to Perlova Street. This place used to be the center of sex-selling business during communist times, and of course it was very dangerous. So there is a plaque dedicated to all fallen women, which is very ambiguous because some of these women actually died. And it also has a little writing that says honoring their memory. As you can see, a couple letters of the last word are missing, which makes it sound like another word in Czech. I'll give you a hint. In English it starts with the same letter. If you know what we're talking about, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. We'll be posting new videos very soon, so see you guys in our next one. Bye!